Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone who just radiates power? Not the kind that shouts, not the kind that demands, but the kind that simply exists. The kind of power that is quiet yet undeniable. That is the power of self-mastery. That is the power of discipline, of clarity, of control. And today I want to share with you how you can unlock this power within yourself. See, too many people believe that power is something external. It's in status and authority and being louder than the rest. But real power, the kind that makes a difference, comes from within. And if you want to become truly powerful, you don't need to control the world. You need to control yourself. Let me give you 8 principles to become the kind of person who commands respect, who walks with confidence, and who lives with purpose. Number 1, be calm. There is something incredibly powerful about a person who doesn't react to every storm that comes their way. Life will throw challenges at you, stress, frustration, unexpected problems. But the real test of power is not how loud you get, it's how calm you remain. People respect those who stay composed because that kind of control is rare. Next time life pushes you, take a breath, hold steady, and respond with wisdom, not emotion. Power is one of those concepts that people often misunderstand. Many believe it comes from control, from status, from forcing things to happen. But real power, the kind that lasts, the kind that matters, doesn't come from the outside, comes from within. It's not about how loud you are, how many people you command, or how much attention you get. True power is built on a foundation of discipline, self-awareness, and mastery over yourself. And that kind of power, once developed, can never be taken away from you. Think about the most influential and respected individuals. They don't react impulsively. They don't let their emotions dictate their decisions. They don't seek approval from the world. Instead, they move with certainty. They know who they are. They have developed an inner strength that allows them to handle life's challenges with grace and control. When others panic, they remain steady. When things don't go their way, they adjust and keep moving forward. This is the essence of power, not controlling everything around you, but controlling yourself in any situation. One of the biggest differences between people who struggle and those who succeed is how they handle adversity. Life is unpredictable. There will be setbacks, disappointments, obstacles that feel insurmountable. And in these moments, most people react emotionally. They get frustrated, they get discouraged, they start blaming circumstances, other people, or even themselves. But the truly powerful individuals recognize that challenges are inevitable, and instead of reacting, they respond. They pause, they think. They decide on the best course of action instead of letting the situation dictate their next move. Mastering yourself means developing the ability to choose your response rather than being controlled by circumstances. It means understanding that emotions are natural but should never be the driver of your actions. It means stepping back and seeing the bigger picture before making a decision. And the more you practice this, the more control you gain over your life. Because the truth is, most people are being pulled in every direction by external forces, social pressure, negative influences, distractions. They react without thinking. They let situations dictate their mood, their choices, their confidence, and that's why they never develop real power. But when you decide to take full responsibility for yourself, something changes. You start becoming intentional about your actions. You no longer feel the need to prove anything to anyone. You don't react impulsively to criticism, negativity, or setbacks. Instead, you keep your focus. You stay centered. You operate from a place of control. And when people see this, they respect it. Because true power is rare, it stands out. This kind of power also affects the way others perceive you. People naturally gravitate toward those who are in control of themselves. They trust them. They listen to them. Why? Because in a world full of chaos, calmness is attractive, confidence is compelling, and a person who has mastered themselves automatically earns the respect of those around them. They don't have to demand it. They don't have to chase it. It comes naturally because people admire strength, and true strength comes from within. Another key element of mastering yourself is discipline. Power is not built in a day. It is the result of small, consistent decisions over time. The way you manage your emotions, your habits, your time, your energy, all of it, contributes to your level of control over your life. The person who disciplines their mind, who controls their impulses, who remains focused in the face of distractions, that is the person who becomes powerful. Because power is not about luck or circumstances, it is about choice. The choice to rise above excuses, the choice to stay calm in the storm, the choice to take full ownership of your life no matter what comes your way. When you master yourself, everything else follows. Your relationships improve because you no longer react emotionally to every situation. Your confidence increases because you are no longer dependent on external validation. Your ability to succeed multiplies because you are no longer wasting time on things that don't matter. You become a person of purpose, of clarity, of unwavering strength. And the best part, no one can take that from you because real power is never given, it is earned. And once you build it within yourself, it stays with you forever. Number 2, talk less. You ever notice that the most powerful people don't need to say much? That's because words are like currency, spend them too freely, and they lose value. When you talk less, people listen more. Make your words count. Say only what is necessary, and when you speak, speak with purpose. In life, one of the most overlooked yet powerful skills is the ability to control your reactions. Most people go through life at the mercy of their emotions, reacting impulsively to every challenge, setback, or inconvenience. But those who truly understand power know that it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. When you master your reactions, you gain control over your life. Instead of being pulled in every direction by emotions, circumstances, or other people's opinions, you stand firm. You make decisions from a place of clarity, not chaos. Think about the last time something unexpected happened. Maybe someone said something that irritated you. Maybe a situation didn't go as planned. How did you respond? Did you react instantly out of frustration or disappointment? Or did you pause, assess, and choose your response carefully? The difference between the two is everything. Because the moment you react emotionally, you give away your power, you let external forces dictate your state of mind, your actions, and ultimately your results. Powerful people don't do that. They don't let temporary emotions lead them into permanent mistakes. They don't make decisions based on anger, fear, or frustration. Instead, they control their emotions before their emotions control them. This isn't about suppressing feelings, it's about mastering them. It's about recognizing that while emotions are real, they should never be in charge of your actions. A moment of anger can ruin a relationship. A moment of fear can cause you to miss an opportunity. A moment of impatience can lead to poor decisions. But when you learn to step back, to take a breath, and to respond rather than react, you take back control. This kind of self-control earns respect. People admire those who remain calm under pressure, who don't let small things shake them, who maintain composure in difficult situations. That kind of stability is rare. And when people see it, they take notice. They start looking to you as a leader, as someone they can trust, as someone who won't be easily shaken. That's the kind of person who holds real influence, not because they demand it, but because their presence commands it. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, to feel the need to respond immediately, to prove a point, to defend yourself, to react to every little thing that comes your way. But real strength is in restraint. It's in knowing that not everything requires a response. It's in recognizing that silence can be more powerful than words. It's in understanding that the person who controls their reactions controls their future. When you practice this in your daily life, everything starts to change. You no longer waste energy on things that don't matter. You stop being affected by negativity, criticism, or distractions. You begin to move with purpose rather than emotion. You start thinking strategically rather than impulsively. And as a result, you gain an edge that most people will never have the ability to stay focused, composed, and in control no matter what's happening around you. This is not something that happens overnight. It takes practice. It takes self-awareness. It takes a commitment to becoming the kind of person who doesn't get thrown off course by every challenge or inconvenience. But once you develop this skill, you become unstoppable. You become someone who is truly in charge of their life. Because in the end, power isn't about controlling others, it's about mastering yourself. And when you do that, nothing can shake you. Number 3, observe more. There is so much wisdom in the world, but most people are too distracted to notice it. You want to be powerful? Then stop rushing through life and start observing it. Pay attention to details, to people, to patterns. The more you observe, the more you understand. And the more you understand, the more control you have over the direction of your life. One of the most valuable yet often overlooked skills in life is the ability to observe more and speak less. Most people are eager to share their thoughts, their opinions, their reactions, so eager that they fail to take in what's happening around them. But if you want to develop true power, if you want to position yourself ahead of the crowd, you must learn to slow down and observe. Because the people who notice the most, who understand the most, who read between the lines, those are the ones who make the best decisions. Observation is about more than just seeing. It's about understanding. It's about paying attention to the details that others overlook. It's about noticing the patterns, the behaviors, the unspoken truths in every situation. And when you develop this skill, you begin to see opportunities where others see nothing. You start recognizing the motives behind people's words, the truth behind their actions. You learn when to move forward and when to hold back. You gain insights that others miss because they are too busy talking, reacting, and rushing through life without paying attention. Powerful people understand this. They don't feel the need to speak just to fill silence. They don't reveal their plans too soon. They don't waste energy on unnecessary words. Instead, they watch. They listen. They take everything in before they act. And because of this, when they do speak, their words carry weight. People listen. Their presence commands respect, not because they demand it, but because they have trained themselves to be intentional with their words and actions. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They feel the need to jump in, to express their thoughts, to prove something. But those who understand power know that silence is often their greatest tool. Silence makes people reveal more than they intend. Silence allows you to control the pace of a conversation. Silence makes your words more impactful when you finally choose to speak. And most importantly, silence gives you time to think. When you observe more and talk less, you start to see how the world truly works. You see who is genuine and who is pretending. You recognize opportunities before others do. You become more strategic in your approach to life, more thoughtful in your interactions, more precise in your decisions, and this is what sets you apart. Because while others are reacting without thinking, wasting time on pointless conversations and missing the bigger picture, you are positioning yourself ahead quietly, intentionally, and with purpose. This habit also protects you. The more you speak, the more information you give away. The more you reveal, the more others can use against you. But when you practice restraint, when you choose your words wisely, you keep control. People don't know what you're thinking, what your next move is, what you truly feel. And that kind of control is powerful because when people don't know everything about you, they can't manipulate you, they can't predict you, and they can't control you. Observation is not just about watching others, it's also about understanding yourself. When you slow down, when you listen instead of always speaking, you gain clarity about your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own direction. You become more intentional in everything you do. And when you reach that level of awareness, you no longer waste energy on things that don't serve you. You no longer get distracted by meaningless noise. You move through life with a sense of purpose, a sense of control, a quiet strength that others can't ignore. So learn to observe, pay attention, read between the lines, let others reveal themselves while you stay steady. And when the time comes to speak, let your words be few but powerful. Because in the end, it's not the person who talks the most, who holds the most power. It's the person who listens, who understands, who knows when to speak and when to remain silent. That is real power. Number 4, show respect. Now, this one might surprise some people. Some think power means making others feel small, but real power is the opposite. The strongest people lift others up. When you respect people, when you treat them with kindness, you build trust, influence, and admiration. Respect is a magnet for success because when you give it, you get it back tenfold. One of the most overlooked yet powerful qualities a person can develop is respect, both giving it and earning it. Many people believe that power comes from dominance, from controlling others, from making people feel smaller so they can feel bigger. But real power, lasting power, comes from the opposite. It comes from showing respect to everyone, regardless of status, background, or position. It comes from treating people with dignity, from recognizing the value in others, and from carrying yourself in a way that commands respect without ever having to demand it. When you show respect, you create an environment of trust. People listen to you not because they have to, but because they want to. They see you as someone who is fair, someone who values them, someone who doesn't need to belittle others to establish authority, and because of that, they naturally gravitate towards you. Respect is a powerful currency. It opens doors, it builds bridges, it strengthens relationships. When people feel respected, they are more willing to support you, to work with you, to help you succeed. And the more you give it, the more it comes back to you. Most people misunderstand respect. They believe it should only be given to those who have proven themselves worthy. But the truth is, respect is a reflection of you, not the other person. When you treat others with kindness and dignity, it says more about your character than theirs. It shows confidence. It shows strength. It shows that you are secure enough in yourself that you don't need to put others down to feel powerful. And when people see that, they respect you in return. But respect is not just about how you treat others, it's also about how you carry yourself. If you want to be respected, you must first respect yourself. That means holding yourself to a higher standard. That means keeping your word, being reliable, and living with integrity. People watch what you do more than they listen to what you say. And when they see that you are consistent, that you stand by your principles, that you don't compromise your values for short-term gain, they begin to trust and admire you. Respect isn't something you can fake. It's something you build through your actions, through the way you handle yourself in every situation. Another key to respect is how you handle conflict. In moments of disagreement, most people react with ego. They feel the need to win, to prove they are right, to put the other person in their place. But the truly powerful individuals don't let their emotions control them. They listen, they seek to understand, they remain calm, even when others lose control. And because of that, they gain even more respect. People may not always agree with them, but they respect their ability to stay composed, to be fair, to focus on solutions rather than ego-driven arguments. Respect also creates influence. The more you respect others, the more influence you have over them. People are far more likely to listen to you, to follow you, to take your advice when they feel valued. And influence is the highest form of power because it's not for said, it's earned. It's the ability to inspire, to lead, to guide people in the right direction without ever having to manipulate or pressure them. And that kind of power lasts. Many people go through life demanding respect, trying to force it from others. But respect is never something you demand, it's something you inspire. It's built through how you treat people, how you carry yourself, how you handle pressure, and how you remain true to your values. And when you master this, you won't have to ask for respect. It will be given to you naturally because people recognize real strength when they see it. Number 5, move in silence. We live in a world where everyone wants to announce their every move. They talk about their plans, their goals, their dreams, but the powerful ones, they move in silence. They don't talk about what they're going to do, they just do it. And when the results show up, they speak for themselves. Work in the shadows, build in silence, and let your success make the noise. There is a certain power in silence that most people will never understand. In a world where everyone is eager to talk, to share, to announce their plans, their goals, and their successes, the truly powerful move differently. They move in silence. They let their actions speak instead of their words. They don't feel the need to prove anything to anyone because they understand that real success is not about seeking validation, it's about results. And the more you talk about what you're going to do, the less energy you have to actually do it. When you move in silence, you eliminate distractions. You stop worrying about what others think, about their opinions, about their doubts. You don't waste time explaining your every move or convincing others to believe in your vision. Instead, you focus, you work, you make progress behind the scenes. And when the results show up, they speak louder than anything you could have said. People start to notice not because you told them to, but because your actions made it undeniable. Most people fail because they share too much too soon. They announce their plans before they have even taken the first step. They seek approval, encouragement, or recognition before they've earned it. But the problem with this is that the moment you put your goals out into the world, you invite unnecessary noise. You invite opinions, doubts, and sometimes even negativity. People will tell you why it won't work, why you should do things differently, why you should quit before you even begin. And the more you listen to those voices, the more likely you are to lose focus, to second guess yourself, to slow down. But when you keep your plans to yourself, you protect your vision. You give yourself the space to grow, to build, to evolve without outside interference. Moving in silence also protects you from unnecessary competition. When you share too much, you give people insight into your strategy, your next move, your strengths, and your weaknesses. But when you keep things private, you maintain the element of surprise. No one sees you coming. No one knows what you're working on. And by the time they realize what you've built, it's already done. That is real power. But moving in silence doesn't mean being secretive or isolated. It doesn't mean never speaking or never sharing. It simply means knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet. It means understanding that not everything needs to be announced, that not every plan needs validation, that not every success needs to be broadcasted. It means being intentional with your words and strategic with your actions. The most powerful people in the world understand this. They don't waste time proving themselves to others. They don't explain their every move. They don't announce what they're going to do. They just do it. And because of that, they maintain control. They control their narrative. They control their energy. They control the pace at which they move without interference, without unnecessary noise, without outside influence. When you move in silence, you build confidence. You stop seeking external approval because you know that the only validation that matters comes from the work itself. You stop depending on others to believe in you because you believe in yourself. And when you finally do speak, your words carry more weight because people know that when you say something, it means something. Because you don't talk just to talk, you talk when it matters. The world is filled with people who talk too much and do too little. But if you want real power, if you want real success, if you want to create something meaningful, stop announcing and start doing. Let people see your results, not your intentions. Let your actions make the statement. Because the ones who move in silence are the ones who are always ahead. Number 6, eye contact. One of the simplest yet most powerful things you can do is look people in the eye. It shows confidence, it builds connection, it demands respect. Eye contact says, I am present, I am aware, I am not afraid. It's a small thing, but it makes a big difference. There is a quiet yet undeniable power in eye contact. It is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to command respect, project confidence, and establish a presence that people remember. Many people go through life avoiding eye contact, looking away, or staring at the ground when they speak. They may not realize it, but in doing so, they are sending a silent message of uncertainty, insecurity, or even a lack of engagement. But those who understand power know that eye contact is one of the most powerful tools for influence and connection. When you look someone directly in the eyes, you communicate without saying a word. You show that you are present, that you are paying attention, that you are engaged. You show that you are confident in yourself, in your words, and in your presence. And people respect that. They listen more intently, they take you more seriously, and they feel a stronger connection with you. This is because eye contact is deeply rooted in human psychology. It builds trust, signals authority, and creates an immediate sense of importance in any interaction. People who lack confidence often struggle with eye contact. They shift their gaze, look down, or glance away too quickly. This can make them seem unsure, dishonest, or uninterested, even when that's not their intention. On the other hand, those who have mastered eye contact project strength. They hold their gaze without fear. They meet others with a steady, calm look that says, I belong here, I know what I'm talking about, I am not afraid. And this simple act alone changes the entire dynamic of an interaction. But eye contact is not just about appearing confident, it's about being fully present. Too many people are distracted when they communicate. They glance at their phones, their surroundings, or anywhere else but the person in front of them. And this sends a clear message: you are not my priority. What I'm looking at is more important than you. But when you make direct eye contact, you make the other person feel valued. You make them feel seen. You make them feel like what they are saying matters, and that creates a connection that people remember. Holding eye contact also gives you control in a conversation. When you maintain steady eye contact, you set the tone. You show that you are engaged, that you are not intimidated, that you are confident in your position. This is why great leaders, strong negotiators, and influential speakers all master the power of eye contact. They understand that the way they look at someone can shift the entire energy of a room. It can make people listen more closely, respect their presence, and take their words seriously. But just like anything powerful, eye contact must be used wisely. Too little makes you seem weak or disinterested, but too much can come across as aggressive or unnatural. The key is balance. Hold eye contact naturally, breaking it occasionally, but always returning with intention. When listening, maintain steady eye contact to show you are engaged. When speaking, use it to emphasize key points, to draw people in, to command attention without force. Mastering eye contact is not just about how others perceive you, it's also about how you perceive yourself. The more comfortable you become with holding eye contact, the more confident you feel in your own presence. You start to believe in yourself more. You start to carry yourself with a new level of assurance. And that energy is contagious. Others will pick up on it. They will sense it. They will respect it. Most people underestimate the power of something as simple as eye contact. But those who understand it use it to their advantage in every interaction. It doesn't matter if you're in a business meeting, a casual conversation, or introducing yourself to someone new. Eye contact sets the tone. It communicates confidence, strength, and certainty. And when you master it, you will notice a shift in the way people respond to you. They will listen more, respect you more, and remember you long after the conversation is over. Because when you carry yourself with presence, the world takes notice. Number 7, manage your time. Time is the most valuable asset you have. Powerful people don't waste it. They don't fill their days with distractions. They prioritize, they focus, they execute. Stop spending time on things that don't serve you. Guard your time like you guard your money, because wasted time is a debt you can never repay. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever have. Unlike money, possessions, or opportunities, once time is gone, it can never be replaced. Yet, so many people live as if they have an unlimited supply of it, wasting hours, days, even years on things that don't move them forward. The truly powerful understand that time is their greatest asset, and they treat it as such. They don't let distractions steal it, they don't let unimportant things consume it, and they don't allow others to dictate how they use it. They take control, they prioritize, and they make every moment count. One of the biggest differences between those who succeed and those who don't is how they manage their time. Some people drift through life, reacting to whatever comes their way, spending their days in a cycle of procrastination, entertainment, and meaningless activity. Others, however, take ownership of their time. They plan, they set clear priorities, they know what matters most, and they make sure their actions align with their goals. They don't get caught up in distractions because they understand that every minute wasted is a minute they can never get back. Most people complain about not having enough time, yet they spend hours scrolling through their phones, watching television, or engaging in conversations that lead nowhere. They say they want success, but their schedules don't reflect it. The truth is, if something is important to you, you will make time for it. It's not about having time, it's about making time. The most powerful individuals don't find time for what matters. They create it. They cut out the unnecessary. They say no to things that don't serve their purpose, and they stay disciplined in how they spend their days. Managing time effectively doesn't mean being busy all the time. Many people mistake being busy for being productive. They fill their schedules with endless tasks, constantly moving from one thing to another, yet making little real progress. The key is not to be busy, it's to be effective. It's to focus on what truly moves the needle. The most powerful people understand the difference between activity and achievement. They don't just work hard, they work smart. They identify the tasks that bring the greatest results and give those tasks their full attention. Another critical aspect of time management is eliminating distractions. The world is filled with things designed to pull your attention in every direction: notifications, social media, endless entertainment, and the demands of others. If you are not intentional, your time will be taken from you before you even realize it. That is why powerful people set boundaries. They protect their time fiercely. They schedule their priorities instead of letting other people's priorities dictate their schedules. They create an environment that allows them to focus, and they develop the discipline to stay committed to their most important work. One of the best ways to take control of time is through planning. The most successful individuals don't start their days without a clear direction. They know what they need to accomplish before the day even begins. They set goals, they create routines, and they follow through. They don't wake up wondering how the day will unfold. They decide how it will unfold. And because of that, they accomplish more in a few years than most people do in a lifetime. Time is not just about productivity, it's also about balance. It's about making time for growth, for learning, for relationships, for self-care. The most powerful people don't just work hard, they also make time for rest and renewal because they understand that energy is just as important as effort. They take care of their health, they invest in their minds, and they surround themselves with the right people because they know that how they spend their time ultimately shapes who they become. The truth is, you will never have more time than you do right now. The question is, what will you do with it? Will you waste it on things that don't matter, or will you take control of it and use it to build the life you want? The most powerful people understand that every second is an opportunity. They don't wait for the right time, they make the time. And because of that, they create a life on their terms while everyone else wonders where the time went. Number 8, think before you speak. Words have power. They can build, they can destroy, they can inspire, but only when used wisely. Before you speak, think. Ask yourself, is this necessary? Is this helpful? Is this the right time? Powerful people don't speak out of impulse. They speak with purpose, and that makes all the difference. Words have power. They can build or destroy, inspire or discourage, bring people closer or drive them apart. The way a person speaks reveals their level of self-control, intelligence, and awareness. Those who understand true power do not speak carelessly. They think before they speak. They measure their words, ensuring that what they say adds value rather than creating unnecessary problems. Many people speak without thinking, reacting to situations based on impulse, emotion, or habit. They blurt out whatever comes to mind, often regretting their words later. But those who have mastered themselves know that words once spoken cannot be taken back. They understand that every word carries weight and should be used wisely. The ability to think before speaking is a sign of maturity and strength. It shows discipline, self-awareness, and wisdom. Many people assume that speaking more makes them seem more knowledgeable or important, but in reality, the opposite is true. The more carefully a person chooses their words, the more impact those words have. When someone speaks with intention, people listen. Their words are respected because they are not thrown around carelessly. They speak with purpose, and because of that, their voice carries more weight. Thinking before speaking also prevents unnecessary conflict. Many disagreements, arguments, and broken relationships could have been avoided if people had simply taken a moment to consider their words before saying them. In the heat of the moment, emotions can cloud judgment, leading people to say things they don't truly mean. But once those words are spoken, they leave an impression. They can wound, offend, or create misunderstandings that take years to repair. Those who think before they speak avoid this trap. They pause, reflect, and choose their words carefully, ensuring that they communicate in a way that is constructive rather than destructive. A person who masters this skill gains respect from those around them. People trust someone who speaks with clarity and wisdom. They know that when this person says something, it is worth listening to. They also feel safe around them, knowing that their words will not be used carelessly or harshly. Leaders, influencers, and powerful individuals all understand this principle. They do not engage in gossip, pointless debates, or meaningless chatter. Instead, they speak with precision, saying only what is necessary and valuable. Another benefit of thinking before speaking is the ability to communicate more effectively. Powerful people do not waste words. They do not ramble or speak just to fill silence. They get to the point making sure their message is clear and impactful. This skill is especially important in moments of pressure where saying the wrong thing can lead to serious consequences. A person who thinks before they speak remains in control of the situation. They do not allow emotions to dictate their words, and because of that, they maintain authority and composure. This practice also applies to the way people speak to themselves. The inner dialogue a person has shapes their confidence, mindset, and actions. Those who think before they speak understand that negative self-talk is just as damaging as careless words spoken to others. They train themselves to use words that uplift, motivate, and strengthen. They refuse to let their own words become a barrier to their success. Speaking with intention is not about being silent or avoiding conversations. It is about making sure that every word serves a purpose. It is about recognizing that words have the power to influence, persuade, and inspire. Those who master this skill become more powerful because they communicate with clarity, wisdom, and confidence. They do not waste time explaining things that do not need to be explained. They do not say things they will later regret. They do not let emotions control their speech. Instead, they take a moment, consider their words, and then speak in a way that commands attention and respect. Powerful people are known for their ability to remain calm under pressure, to choose their words wisely, and to speak only when necessary. They do not react, they respond. And because of that, their words carry more weight, their presence is respected, and their influence is undeniable. Thinking before speaking is not just a habit, it is a skill that separates those who lead from those who follow. True power comes from within. It is not about control over others, but mastery over yourself, your emotions, your words, your time, and your presence. When you remain calm in chaos, speak with intention, observe with wisdom, and move with purpose, you set yourself apart. The world listens to those who do not waste their energy proving their worth, but instead show it through their actions. Start today. Take control of your life, refine your habits, and embody the quiet strength that commands respect. You are more powerful than you realize now. It's time to show it. My friends, power isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And it starts today. It starts with a decision to master yourself, to be deliberate with your actions, to control your emotions, and to lead with wisdom. When you implement these principles, you'll notice something incredible. People will start to respect you more, listen to you more, follow you more, but more importantly, you will respect yourself more. And that, my friends, is the foundation of real power. So go out there and be powerful, not by force, not by noise, but by the strength of your character, the clarity of your mind, and the discipline of your actions. Because when you master yourself, you master life. Thank you.